Today we're going to learn all about the hedgerows of Ireland and how you can use the ancient art of hedge laying to lay down a hedge to make it last for hundreds of years. So maybe if we follow this sign, we'll find Eamonn and he can teach us all about it. Alright, so we're here down in Tinnymuck in County Offaly with Eamonn from the Hedgelaying Association of Ireland. Eamonn, thanks so much for having us.
You're very, very welcome. You're very welcome to County Offaly here.
Thank you. We got a great welcome this morning. I'd say we're well fed now and ready to go. So we're here to talk about hedges, and everyone will know there's hedges all over Ireland, especially in the Midlands, but everywhere. You drive your car, you'll see hedges on all the roads. So Eamonn, can you tell me a thing or two about our hedges and maybe what they're made out of?
Yes, well, absolutely. About 80% of Irish hedgerows are contained whitethorn. Whitethorn is a very, very important plant. It produces white flower in the springtime of the year, which suits the bees for early pollination, and also the white flowers get back into haws in the spring, in the autumn time, which suits the birds.
It suits the birds. They're those little berries that you see on them.
The little red berries in haws.
And so if about 80% is our whitethorn, what else grows in the hedgerows?
Generally holly, very, very famous for used at Christmas time, and blackthorn.
Okay, lovely.
And those three species have thorn on them, so that means you have a stock-proof hedge when they're looked after and laid properly.
Okay, yes, so that's it. So the hedges are there. Their original reason they're put in was to keep the sheep and the cattle and everything in their fields, because back then we didn't have these electric fences and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And can you tell me what sort of animals depend on the hedges? Is there lots of animals who eat from them?
2/3 of all birds in Ireland depend on the hedgerow.
Okay.
So the nest, the breed, the shelter, and also the feed and rear their young.
Okay.
So they're absolutely vital for well, so much the birds, but also the wildlife as well.
But that's fantastic. And you're telling me about caring for these hedges, and I know you're from the Hedgelaying Association of Ireland, which is a whole way of caring for the hedges so that they live for a long time. So can we have a look and see how hedgelaying actually works?
Yes, no problem.
Perfect.
No problem.
All right, so we're in here at the base of the hedge, and I see what you're saying, Eamonn, about being stock-proof. I don't think I could crawl through this hedge here. There's no need for barbed wire here. It's lots of thorns and it's well tightly packed.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that is the basic concept of hedgelaying, is where the stem, which is vertical, is laid over almost horizontal at a slight slope, reintroducing the growth to the base of the hedge.
Okay, so I see it. So we can see this long piece that's going sideways here, this older piece that was cut down a few years ago.
Yes.
And then these new ones came from the roots?
Came from the roots. And each piece that's laid over also has vertical growth out of it. So you have a massive growth, which
like here,
each of that, it's almost impossible to look through the hedge.
Yeah, it's so dense.
It's so dense, so it's absolutely stock-proof.
Perfect. That's fine. And what's this I see here? Is that a little nest?
That is actually another thing it suits. The horizontal stems, you have plenty of sites for birds to build. I think that's actually a thrush's nest that has built there. So it's one reason why hedgelaying is so good. It's so dense, the birds can get in, and it's protected from every other predator.
And I guess it's called hedgelaying because you're literally laying the branches over one on top of the other.
That's exactly it.
If you lay over an old branch and then new growth comes from here, can you keep doing that for many, many, many years?
You can. Our cycle of laying generally happens between 20 and 40 years.
Okay.
So when that, in another 10 or 15 years, that can be laid again, laid generally in the opposite direction, and you have plenty to lay again. So it works for the hedge, it works for the wildlife, it helps the biodiversity in the base of the hedge, and for farmers you have a stock-proof fence.
Yeah, it's win-win. And
it's a win-win.
So the hedges we see along the roads, could they be very old?
Oh, they could be, hundreds of years old.
Hundreds of years old?
And
it's the same hedge that can just keep giving new growth?
Keep giving new growth, but as it is, the way hedges are maintained at the minute, they're cut with a flail, and it's not a very good thing to do with them.
Okay, that's on the side of the tractor, those big things.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not a good thing to do every year, because you're actually churning the stuff, the berries back down into the base of the hedge. It's not actually a cut as such. So they need to be hedge laid. This
Okay,
hedgelaying
like
is
this.
rejuvenation of old hedgerows.
Okay, will we go have a look at one that's a little bit older?
We will, we'll do that.
Perfect, thanks
Yes.
so much. Okay, I can see that these are definitely older here. When would this hedge have been cut?
This is about 18 or 20 years since that hedge was laid,
Okay.
and it's ready for laying again.
Okay, so this was laid over, and now you're going to come and cut these ones and lay those ones over.
Exactly, that's exactly it. And the original stem here,
Yes.
the bark is returned around the wound that was cut out, and this is the regrowth. And actually the regrowth has overtaken the size of the original stem
Yes.
that was laid. So that's ready for laying. It's maybe 15 feet tall, so that's ready for laying again.
And you'll just literally push the whole thing over when you cut
I
it?
will do the same cut in here and lay it over to my left, and it'll be rejuvenation back to the base of the hedge again.
And new shoots come up.
New shoots come
And
up.
come here to me, can you show me some of the tools that you use for this?
I can, yes, absolutely.
Great. Wow, that's a fine selection of tools you have, Eamonn. I wouldn't want to come in and mess with you in your house, I'll tell you that much anyway.
Well,
what do we have?
Well, that's the basic tools you need for hedge laying.
Okay.
There's about 4 or 5 in it. And the first one is just a basic hedge knife.
Okay, a hedge
That's
knife.
a hedge knife. That's for laying lighter stems and for clearing out the brash that's in the way.
Lovely stuff. Can I have a look?
You can. That's the.
Wow, yeah. It looks like it wasn't made today or yesterday, was it?
No, that's well, it's relatively. It's about 40-year-old maybe.
40 years old, and it's in great nick.
It is in great nick, and I'll just go simply how to sharpen it.
Yeah.
Sharpen it with a wet stone in a circular motion. So the
Okay.
stone must be wetted.
Yeah, go for it. Okay, and that will give you a nice sharp edge.
That will give a very, very sharp edge, very dangerous, and needs to be handled with care.
Yes, of course, yeah. But in the right hands, it'll get a lot of work done.
It will, it will. So that's basic.
So that's your hedge knife.
That's the hedge knife. Now, the next major is a draw saw.
Oh,
It's
wow,
a draw
okay.
saw or a pruning saw.
Okay, wow, this is nice. Made in Japan, it
That's
says.
a Japanese.
Japanese saw, lovely.
That's a Zubat.
That's a lovely piece of stuff. Yeah, you cut through a lot with that, I'd
Yes,
say.
that's a very, very good
There you
tool.
go. I'm handling them very carefully.
Very
here. I don't
carefully.
wanna...
Now, the next tool is an axe.
Yeah.
A very, it's a felon axe, so the edge of it is very, very thin.
Okay.
So to keep a very, very thin edge.
Yes.
And that's sharpened the same way again.
Lovely, with your sharpening stone. Nice
Sharpened
wet stone.
wet stone down along.
And I can see here, yeah, it's getting brighter and brighter.
See, it
as
comes
you
up with a
sharpen
very,
it.
very
Yes.
sharp, edge.
So sharp tools are a must in this game, I'd say.
Must, absolutely important, most important.
Yeah.
Now that's the axe. Now this is a double-sided
Oh.
bill hook.
Are you sure this isn't for like going to war or something? This is something from Braveheart or something.
It is, it could be used as well. Now both sides, very, very old.
Yes.
Maybe up to 200 years of age. It's well stamped here, the size of it, and it's sharpened in the same direction.
Yeah.
Circular motion and an edge on both sides.
Okay, both
That's
sides.
another very, very good tool.
Yeah, it looks
And
very good.
the last one I have is the oldest. This is an Elwell bill hook, a standard bill hook.
Okay.
Very, very thin blade on it. Very, very sharp, sharpened in the same motion again.
Okay, and what's this one used for?
That's used generally just for taking the brash away to get into the base of the hedge to lay it.
Okay, so the little bits and twigs
The
and
little
branches.
bits and stuff that you're taking away. And
And how old do you reckon this is?
I reckon nearly 200 years of age.
200 years old, this tool?
200 years of age.
And you can still use it, no
Oh
problem?
yes, it's irreplaceable now.
So you're telling me these tools can be nearly 200 years old,
Yes.
the hedges can be nearly 200
can,
years old,
they can.
and if you just keep working with these old tools, you can keep these hedges alive?
you can.
Fantastic, that is really good. Well, what's this one here?
Now this one is a mallet.
Okay.
It's for putting down dowlogs, as we call them, into the hedge. Dowlogs.
Okay.
And it's a wide piece of timber
Yeah.
that keeps the stem from rising up again.
Okay, so it's almost like you're
That's it, and
holding
it's
it in
hammered
place.
in. And also the stakes down along the hedge can be to keep the hedge straight. And that's an old piece of apple tree in an old billhook handle.
What would, you know, you didn't go down and buy this in the in the supermarket or
Oh,
something.
no.
That is a lovely piece of stuff,
Yeah,
and
it
this
is.
has seen a lot of work, I'd
It
say.
has. That's 20 years of age at least.
Oh, I'd have loads of fun doing this. I think there's no hardship in it at all. It's all fun.
No, it's all.
Good stuff. Well, you told me that you have an example here somewhere of a hedge that is in need of a lot of work.
Oh,
That's
yes,
an
I
example
have.
of a hedge that hasn't really been cared for.
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect.
There's huge gaps in it, and
But
we'll go
will we
look
go
at
have
that.
a look?
We will. We'll look
Yeah,
at that now
perfect.
next.
Thanks. All right, so this hedge I can see has to have a fence in front of it because this hasn't been laid and animals could get in and out through it.
Absolutely. This hedge is not stock proof. So, as you said, electric fence to keep the stock from getting one side to the other.
Will we go inside and have a better look at
We'll
it?
go inside and have a better look at it.
Okay, we're in under it now and I can really see, sure, I nearly walked through this myself. So yeah, tell me about where we are now.
Well, this is at least 200 to 300 years of age of hedgerow.
Okay.
Mainly whitethorn, a bit of blackthorn, other species, but the main one that's in it is whitethorn. And this is a typical example of hedge laying that was done at least 50 to 60 years ago.
Okay, so this one that we see that's lying down, that was laid about 50 years ago?
At least.
Okay, and what's happened is it's all grown up and nothing's been done in the meantime, and so now it's not serving its purpose.
Yes, it's not stock proof at the minute. Now this hedge is crying out to be laid at the minute. So it's plenty of growth on it to relay.
Yes.
A little bit of rot on the stem here, but it could be just taken out, and all the stems to be laid again.
And you get all your tools in and work away at this?
Absolutely. Now, with this one now, a chainsaw would have to be used to take out the larger stems.
Oh, because it's so big.
It's so big.
Yeah. But everything else you can do with your hand tools.
Very same.
Carbon neutral.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect. So you lay this all down and build it up again, and it keeps growing.
It keeps
growing.
growing.
And this 200 and something year old roots will just keep living on and on.
It will keep living on.
Fantastic.
And another reason we know that it's so old, it's not a straight hedgerow, so it follows the contours of the field, so it bends quite a bit. So we know that it's not a modern hedge.
So there's history in our hedgerows, there's biodiversity, they're practical because they keep the cattle where they're supposed to be, and there's these skills that you can learn that'll keep you fit, and there's lots of hedges and Ireland to be done. So if you look up the Hedgelaying Association of Ireland, I'm sure there's a lot of kids out there who'd love to be working at this when they grow up a bit older maybe.
Yes, absolutely. Just look us up.
Yeah, thanks so much. I've learned so much
You're
today.
more than welcome.
And guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed it. I can't wait to get my bill hook and get working away at a hedge myself, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next one.